were they thinking? I mean, were they? I'm sorry, were they high when they were doing it? Were they literally like what were they on?
You know what?
Oh, hey, let
You know what this game was for?
Well,
This game was for your Thanksgiving dinner. You have your CDI, your TV is on, you're looking at flowers while playing music, while you're just talking around your living room.
yeah, maybe that's why. But I mean, other than that, I mean, really, is it a video game? And really, and come to think of it, I mean, the CDI, I mean, it feels like it's more like one of those, how they have Leapster, like little kids interactive, like video games help them learn. That's the only useful way of it. I mean, it's not really a game system for gaming. It's really more, I mean, it has a lot of little kids things. So if you're getting something for like maybe a 2 or 3 year old, then maybe it's somewhat useful.
But
But when you're like a teenager, like and just want to get in some gaming, then some good gaming, then it's not for you. It's nowhere near for you.
yeah,
me
like you know what the CDI is used for? It should be for.
It
uh,
should have been marketed towards little kids because because that's like I mean, if it was just marketed as like a little kid system, then it probably could have done. And of course, it wasn't $700. It could have been a lot better.
Yeah, 3DO at least had redeeming factors. Okay.
Yes, 3DO. It was an overpriced hot dog, but it was a good hot dog. I mean, it was delicious. I mean, it was a good system.
Delicious. Don't reject that.
Yeah, okay, but seriously, like the 3DO has a lot of redeeming games, of good redeeming games that you want to use 3DO. It's worth owning. Got a good library, and actually, personally, from a power perspective, it was probably more powerful than the PlayStation One. But the problem is, Sony, the marketing geniuses, and the better game developers, they just made more games. But from a specifications perspective, I do believe that, so I've also told, I haven't looked into it much, but the 3DO actually specifications wise was probably a little more powerful.
You know what? The CDI should
the
be
only
intended for
use
kindergarten. That's what it should be for. Kindergarten kids.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The CDI, that's all it's good for. Ben, what were you saying? Ben?
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Anyways.
we lost Ben for now. We'll get him back.
Oh, wait. He's back.
I'm adding him back.
Oh, all right.
Okay, okay, Ben, you there?
yeah,
Okay, what
I
happened?
was saying, I have no idea. The only use I found for the CDI is a CD player.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean okay, the CD player on your TV. Why do you need a CD player on your TV though, right, guys?
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I don't know why.
I mean, and first of all, I mean, CD players. I mean, I mean, 1994. Let's put our perspectives back then. Okay, CD players were new, so they were probably a little more expensive. But $700 for a CD player, unless you're like unless you're Bill Gates, a rich billionaire, why the heck would you pay $700 for something you could have gotten like how much were CD players back then? I don't even know.
Like, they were like a couple hundred, but like, you
They're a
know.
couple hundred, but 700? What?
It's like you could buy the Sega CD, the 32X, the Genesis, and Super Nintendo all in one just to get one CDI.
Exactly. I would rather
Uh,
pay $700 for all those because at least all those systems and accessories, even including the CDI, I mean, including the 32X and the Sega CD, which were kind of cruddy, but they had good games on them. I'd rather buy all that with good games than CDI. What the heck? I don't know.
You can play Sesame Street on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why my parents even had a CDI. I mean, I was asking about it. They said they got it. They said they got it used for like $100, like back in 1997, maybe.
Yeah.
I, for, I forgot to say this.
Yeah,
One time I was admitted to this hospital in St. Louis,
yeah.
and I went to the bathroom to use the phone, and there was actually a broken CDI back there.
Really? I mean, why do they
Yeah.
have a broken CDI in the hospital? I mean, wait, this is a hospital. I mean, I thought they're trying to help people feel better. Bringing a CDI to there? What, you want, what, they want these people to get heart attacks?
No, it's broken because
I
it
actually
doesn't have
felt
the
sick to my
insurance for
stomach
it.
when I saw.
Okay, wait, Ben, what you say?
I actually got a stomach ache when I saw it, but when I saw that it was broken and like it had a big old crack on the top, I felt much better.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, but if it's a working CDI, I mean, just by looking at it, people will just get stomach aches like, oh my gosh, Grim Reaper, ah!
You know what it is? I think Philips didn't have enough money to physically insure their CDI, so they rotted in the corner.
Yeah, apparently they're charging $700, and but I give Philips some credit because the CDI, surprisingly, it was around for many years. It was like around for like many years. It was like 6 years, something like that. Which I mean, a lot. It wasn't. I mean, 6 years for game system like back then to the last 6 years. It's not a bad thing. But the problem is, it didn't last 6 years because it had good customers and because that and a good support people that buying and supporting it. It survived because Philips was worse than Sega. Remember how Sega was like trying so hard to keep the Genesis on the life support? That's what exactly what Philips was doing, except worse. The CDI was already dead, but they still intended on driving it towards the people, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you know what? So much for Mario Kart.
Yeah, I mean, really, how do we get from Mario Kart 7 to the CDI?
We would talk about like
I,
Mario games, like the Wii Shop channel, then Mario games, and then Hotel Mario, and then CDI, and then prices.
Guys, this is why I love game chat because you never know where you're going to get from one topic to another, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
well,
then, right,
yeah.
right, but okay, I think we're going to end this Mario Kart 7 topic. No, we barely talked about it. Ben, gosh, any last thoughts on Mario Kart 7?
I
Uh,
think it looks freaking fantastic.
I hope it makes lots of spaghetti.
That's spaghetti.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, guys. So that wraps up our Mario Kart 7 segment. This week, our game system discussion / review of the week, the PlayStation 2. And guys, this is last week we discussed the Wii and how good of a system this was, and the PS2. This is another excellent system, right, guys?
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the PS2 is like one of those systems where, like, if you're the type of gamer that likes RPGs, if you're the type of gamer that, or maybe you're the type of gamer that likes a crazy, spontaneous game, or you're the type of gamer that likes racing games, you can find that on the PlayStation 2. There's a game out there on PS2 for all types of gamers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Any genre you're into, there's a game for you on the PlayStation 2, right?
I mean, PS2 arguably is the most popular. I mean, it came out in 2000, and games in 2011 are still coming out.
I
Every
know.
every PlayStation console lasts 10 years.
Uh, I mean, I mean that's terrific. I mean, the PlayStation One lasts a while. PlayStation One was revolutionary, strong console, lasted many years. PS2, this beast lasted. It still lasted many years. I mean, it's true that PS2 is in its latter years, no doubt, but it's still the fact that it lasted this long is just tremendous. And the PlayStation 3 is actually it's been also lasting quite a good years, not as many as the PS2, but it's still lasting.
Yeah.
PS2 is like the Atari of today. Still
Yeah,
being produced like 10 years later and still having games out.
yeah. Every game company should just look to the PlayStation 2 for inspiration. This is how the PlayStation 2 is a perfect example of how a video game system should be made. No gimmicky accessories, no like really crappy games. I mean, it has some, but I mean, no like really ones that stand out. There's just good games for everybody, great controllers. Um, well, for the most part, pretty good build quality.